Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Anything for my princess.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
I don't understand how a pinky toe could be flaccid, but guys, how are you doing? This is Isaac Anderson.
This is Tyler.
Keen. Guys, and this is Big Bang Cinema. This is a show where we talk about movie news, movie reviews, and everything in between. And on this side of the camera, we have the man with the Billy Goat beard and the Billy Goat personality, Mr. Hunter Baker. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm really hungry
Hold on
for
a
tin
minute.
and aluminum right now.
Whoa. He just gave you a different intro, and I wasn't even prepared for it.
That's right. Speaking about different intros, we got Mr. Christopher Darkins over here with a smaller beard and a not Billy Goat personality. What kind of personality would you ascribe with an animal to you?
I would say he's got a Chris.
What kind of animals are Chris?
A Chris personality.
That's wrong.
Homo sapien.
The correct
Homo
answer.
sapien personality.
The correct answer is
Homo sapien.
lion.
Lion personality. No, I do not get that at all.
I get a lion look. But guys, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Tyler, how you doing?
Exhausted.
Quail.
Quail.
Quail. I do. Flip it forward. Flip the
Like a
ponytail
pigeon?
forward.
Like
Quail
A
man.
quail.
quail?
Flip it forward. Quail.
And that's it.
Quail man. There we go. Yeah.
Speaking about a quail
Yes.
man, Jamie Foxx is going to be playing Spawn in an upcoming movie that's probably going to make money.
You misread that.
What?
Jamie Foxx is going to ham up the part of the Spawn like he did with about every other film he's done.
Yeah, well, I mean, that gets my next
Don't
question.
you know I'm the Spawn? I'm not dead.
I'm Electro. Yeah, so for those that don't know,
Spawn.
Jamie Foxx, he was a cast member on In Living Color, I believe, and he
Oh,
became a serious actor after that.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yep.
good.
Hey, well, see, get this. I like him in a lot of roles, okay? Jamie Foxx, I think, is not a bad actor. I think he's been stuck in some hammy roles, and I think he makes some poor decisions as an actor.
And he's been playing Ray Charles ever since.
I don't know if I can agree. He's good
Yeah.
when he plays like a regular person for the most part, but when he plays like these eccentric characters, I usually don't like him. I don't know. Well, for anybody that doesn't know, who is Spawn?
Spawn's a superhero. Well,
you be more specific?
Actually, he's an anti-hero. That's better. He was a mercenary, goes to hell, make a promise to come back, and he makes a deal to come back, and he wakes up years later out of his grave, and he is a hell spawn, which is supposed to be the army of Satan. But apparently, they had tricked him into it because he wasn't. Heaven wanted him in the heaven's army, so they tricked him and got him into hell and got him to spawn. So he rebels against hell and Satan. Well, hell, pretty much the hell, the devil, and the violator, which was the devil's underling, and he tries to go back and piece his life together, but his wife's already moved on and remarried and had a kid. So he just decides to help and defend the poor and the homeless. It's
Sounds
like
sexy.
It's like Venom with chains and a cape. Actually,
And
I've seen what he
more
looks
Satan.
like. I've seen what he looks like. See,
Oh, yeah.
it's the same
He
character.
looks like a Spider-Man villain almost.
Oh, it's because it's Todd McFarlane. He's a
Oh,
really,
yeah.
really, really unoriginal comic artist.
Well, Tom McFarlane actually is involved with this. I think there's a picture of him together. I think he might be directing it, actually.
No, he better not be directing it.
I think he might be
He
directing it.
better keep his hands off this mess.
He's definitely heavily involved with it. If he's not directing it, he's either like helping write it or like producer or something like
Okay,
that. He's heavily involved in the process.
Let me give a down about Spawn. The company it was made for was called Image. It wasn't created by writers. It was created by artists. And when you have artists writing books and writing the stories, what do you think is give more focus to, the art of the story?
Oh, it's going to be the images. It's like a Zack Snyder movie.
So you have like extremely confusing, convoluted plot that is not really well written, bad dialogue, but the art in it looks cool and is beautiful.
Yeah, and there's more things to a story than how it looks. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't think this is a great choice. I think Michael J. White played him before this, and then who else played him?
I think he.
There was like one of the only other R-rated comic book
Anime.
movies like this, right?
Yeah, and then there was an animated TV show for HBO.
But who else played him? I can't remember.
That was just him.
No, it was somebody else. It's probably an animated series, but
Yeah, it was an animated series, maybe.
but I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, I know who it was. It was the guy who did the voice for David Keith.
Yeah, that was it.
David Keith.
Frank and Beans from There's Something About Mary.
Or Goliath from Gargoyles, if you can go back that far.
Oh, he's from Something About Mary for the rest of his life. But yeah, he probably could pull this off. I can almost imagine what it's going to be like. He's going to be, they took my family. I'm going to kill them because I'm a spawn of Satan. It'll be like one of these kind of silly voices like that. Even him as like Django or something like that. It's more of like director than anything else, rather than his performance.
I'm about to give you a hint about the original movie. The only good part of the movie was John Leguizamo.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well. So I take it you're not excited about this whatsoever.
No, because you only problem with like you had the perfect guy to play these stories are only good as the villain. And you had the perfect actor to play the villain, and that was John Leguizamo. I mean, it almost acted like he pulled the Violator out of the comic book.
Well, I mean, the Violator is now going to be played by somebody in Hollywood that got accused back in December, and trust me, there's many people to choose from.
James Franco.
It's most likely going to be Harvey Weinstein playing the villain. He's the most they're he's a real-life villain.
And he kind of looks like the Violator, too.
Oh,
Really,
he definitely is.
a fat bald
allegedly. But anyway, speaking about allegedly, the Boba Fett movie is going to be happening pretty soon. That is confirmed. That has been proven in court.
Are they squeezing more dimes out of my childhood?
It looks like they are. Mr. James Mangold, the man that was behind the recent Logan movie, he's going to be writing and directing this film. And also he did Girl Interrupted. He did a lot of other stuff for Wolverine. He did the Wolverine movie. Not X-Men Origins Wolverine. He did the Wolverine.
What's left to do with Boba Fett?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think Boba Fett's that strong of a character to begin with.
No.
He has a cool costume, and he served a plot function in Empire Strikes Back. And they killed him off in Return of the Jedi because the story's kind of done.
And then they gave him his backstory in the Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, well, the Attack of the Clones angle, he's a clone of Jango Fett, which is just so stupid. And they got a child actor that couldn't act at the time to play him.
And that all the Star Wars films.
Well, I mean, there's no kids in Empire Strike Backs, I don't think so. There's like one that runs past the camera. That's about it. But yeah, prequels have a lot of kids in them. But they kind of messed it up, the mystery of him. Like, oh, he's just a clone of Jango Fett. Oh, okay.
Who's Jango Fett?
Jango Fett is a 60-year-old actor.
No, everybody's like, well, who's Jango Fett? We got Boba Fett figured out. Now, who's Jango Fett?
Oh, Jango Fett's just somebody that gets his head chopped off. Spoilers by Mr. Mace Windu. Yeah, that ruins the mystery of it a lot, so you're going to have to go back to that same actor. Otherwise, it's not canon. Although I thought of something. It'd be neat to see like the actual Boba Fett, like the clone Boba Fett, to get killed, and then somebody else take the mantle of Boba Fett. So it's kind of like the Gwar of characters. Like it's just like rotating members. It's never the original people. But with James Mangold directing, I can kind of see where they're going to go. They're going to go like a Western route, kind of like this dark, gritty thing. Granted, I don't think it's going to be like an R-rated thing. I don't think it has to be. I think it could be interesting, but I don't want to see it. We don't need it.
An animated comedy. There we go.
Well, he was animated in the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yes, he was, and I saw that disappointing.
It was his first appearance in the movies, besides that deleted scene with Jabba, which is stupid.
The holiday Christmas special should never be talked about.
Yeah, but part of the reason, I think the only reason that we really like Boba Fett is because he seems like he has a cool backstory, and it's more fun to make that kind of stuff up in your head.
Well, no, the thing it's like the Han Solo backstory. It was cool because you had like little pieces of his backstory, but it was up to you to pretty much come up with your own backstory for him. That's what made Han Solo great. That's what made Boba Fett great. He rarely speaks. You don't ever see his face, so you don't know if he is an alien. Is he a robot under that?
Yeah, I mean, you're like battle scarred, all over his face. Kind of looks like Nick Nolte or something.
So that's what kept it cool, and they kind of destroyed all that when they did Attack of the Clones, and now they're ravage it even more with this film.
I think James Mangold might be able to lead us in a new direction. I like Solo. I don't want to see the MCU-fication of these Star Wars movies, but he is a good director. But again, it's more fun to kind of think about these things, like when Vader looks at him in Empire and goes, "No disintegrations." He points Boba Fett out. So obviously, like, he's a man you don't want to mess with. But I don't really want to see, oh, that's how he disintegrated somebody. Oh, that's how he met Vader. Oh, that's how he did this. Oh, that's how he got this kind of armor. Oh, that's how we don't need that. It's kind of pointless.
Unless this movie's about him like hour and a half wiggling around in a giant worm's guts.
Oh, you know that's going to be in it. You know that's going to be in it.
Wiggle around in I would like to see that.
Again, I think this movie will be kind of well done. Extremely unnecessary. Please don't do it. James Mangold, love you. Speaking about love you, but probably not, Zack Snyder, my favorite director, is going to be directing the movie he's been trying to direct for years now, The Fountainhead.
Oh, snap. Is that about a pen?
No, The Fountainhead is a novel by Ayn Rand. And
Atlas Shrugged?
Atlas Shrugged, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very philosophical and kind of
I remember
about objectivism, kind of like, you got to look out for yourself, about the individual instead of the community kind of thing. If you've ever watched Man of Steel, it's basically the philosophy of the Fountainhead imprinted on Superman, which I think is totally bonkers and not the right choice. But that's beyond my point. But what do you think about this?
I have no opinion.
You have no opinion? You don't even know what Fountainhead is, that's right.
So when I looked at it, I saw Zack Snyder, I was thinking, Zack Snyder of Hanover, pretzels. I want pretzels right now. I want the honey maple pretzels because I saw those on like a commercial. So yeah, that's what I thought about when I saw this. I had no thought about Zack Snyder, no film thought. I'm like, this is another piece that's going to come and go.
That was very insightful.
Yeah.
Okay, well, first off, again, I'm not really huge on Zack Snyder as a director. And as a director, not like a visual man. I think that he is fundamentally flawed. I don't think he's really able to engage an audience in like a story and with the motivations of the characters and everything. I always feel like I don't know why the people are doing the things they're doing in the movie.
Because I feel like he doesn't understand the characters themselves.
Well, when you listen to his commentaries, like most of his choices are just like, well, this is in here because I thought it was cool. And that's not really, to me, I don't think it's a great reason to put in the film because a lot of his films don't really add up. And if they do like convey it very well, it's very on the nose and obvious. Like when Superman floats out of the ship in the Christ pose and there's like 30 other images trying to say he's Jesus in the movie. That kind of stuff annoys me. So, again, not the fan of his direction, not really a fan of his story structure. He makes things that look nice, and that's about all I can say about him. I'm sure he's a cool guy. He seems like he's a cool guy in interviews, but don't like his filmmaking. But he has been wanting to make this movie for a long time, and to the point where almost every one of his movies have elements of this book in it. And maybe he can do this well, and maybe he can actually do it to the point where it's actually accurate to the novel and a well-made film. Personally, I think it's gonna be a Zack Snyder film and be muddled with the character motivations and whatnot. But this is a passion project for him. I'm kind of excited to see where he's gonna go with this, just because it's been in his head for so long. But I don't know.
My big question is, what is a fountainhead? What does that word mean?
I think it's something to do with like a
Google,
business.
sir. Google, sir. Fountain. Is it something to do with like an ink pen? I want to say ink pen.
It's probably some philosophical BS about how we're
a fountainhead.
flowing.
A fountainhead pen. That sounds like it's a thing. So it makes me curious and wonder because Zack Snyder, the film, is like way beyond me. I don't care. I really don't at all. I do care about if they do bring back Gargoyles, make a Gargoyles Disney live-action film. That show was awesome. So let's go on to James Bond 25.
We didn't even ask these guys.
Excuse me. Actually, I have something to say about this.
Yeah.
If you were going to write a story about something philosophically deep, why would you choose Ayn Rand? All right? Her objectivist, individualistic philosophizing, if you can even call it that, is really nothing more than a response to the collectivist mentality of communist Russia and the fear that was in there. If you want a deep look at American society, you should probably read Fear and Loathing on the Campaign Trail by Hunter S. Thompson. Okay? Because, I mean, this is something so shallow. I can't believe you guys would think it's deep. But anyway.
Guys, your local Starbucks barista. Chris, do you have anything to say on this?
Actually, Starbucks is too corporate.
Ladies and gentlemen, your indie coffee house barista.
I don't prefer the term coffee house.
Java Hut.
Guys, your local Raleigh Raw barista.
Hey, what about you, Chris? Chris, have you ever heard of the Fountainhead? Have you ever heard of Zack Snyder?
He's
All
not
right.
stupid. No, he's not
What do
living
you
under
think?
a rock.
You've seen a Zack Snyder movie?
He's seen Zack Snyder movies. You seen 300 or something like that?
What?
You ever seen the movie like 300? You
This
seen
is the
Batman v Superman?
This
or
is
something?
Sparta movie.
No.
Oh man. Well, it was worth a shot.
Yeah, it was.
I've heard of the director. I just haven't seen any of his movies. I've
Yeah,
seen
you just
bits and
know I don't
pieces.
like him very
Zack
much.
Snyder of Hanover.
Most of the movies I watch are in Italian.
Really?
You are a person I don't want to run into at a party. All right, now we can go into Bond 25.
Bond 25. Let's talk about something else I don't care about.
All right, you don't care about James Bond?
Not at all. I've lost
Really?
interest in James Bond.
What made you lose interest in James Bond?
When Sean Connery decided never to do it again.
So before you were born?
Okay, I gotta think about Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan decided.
Oh, that's
never to
more
do
like it.
Yeah.
Dude, I think that Daniel Craig is like the best Bond that we've had in a long time.
No.
He might be my favorite Bond ever.
There's no camp in there.
Who cares? I mean, there's no camp in the Nolan Batman movies. I like those.
Yeah, but that's Batman. I mean,
This is a dude that murders people halfway across the world and does missions that could get him killed. Don't you think you can make that a dark, serious thing? I think so.
well, Austin Powers, bro.
Well, Austin Powers is a farce, you know, like that's a satire kind of thing.
I think they should take
Not
all
satire, it's
all their
comedy.
energy out of making the next James Bond movie, put it into Austin Powers 4.
I'm probably never going to get off the ground, but Danny Boyle, the man that directed Train Spotting and Slumdog Millionaire, is set to direct this
I
movie.
love Train Spotting.
Well, Danny Boyle.
Lust for life.
It's been rumored for a long time that he was going to be directing it. I'm really excited to see him as director. Actually, I think it's a real.
Oh, incredible, man! Did you see Train Spotting?
I've seen Train Spotting.
This guy is he's a director. This guy's really good.
We also directed 127 Hours. He directed Sunshine, which is a great science fiction film, until the third act. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what he's going to do with this. He's very stylistic in his choices. He also did the Steve Jobs movie that came out with Michael Fassbender. I'm excited to see how his style is going to blend with kind of this world that it's been set up with Daniel Craig movies and everything. Because they're very, they're as serious as a James Bond movie can be, and well, not really, but they ride that tone well. And the other ones, while they have some stylistic elements to it, they seem kind of, stop yawning. They seem kind of pretty straightforward as far as kind of like, trying to convey the action. Danny Boyle's got a very kind of stylistic eye to how he does things. He likes the dreamier kind of things. I'm wondering how that's going to play into this. Maybe he'll kind of get rid of it. I hope he doesn't get rid of it completely because it's still kind of interesting, as long as it's not, Quantum of Solace pretentious garbage. But I don't know. What do you think?
Quantum Solace was garbage. I don't even remember the movie.
You don't even remember
That's
the movie?
probably because you guys weren't watching it ironically. That's
I watch movies ironically all the time. You
it's
shut up.
obviously the way you're supposed to watch all James Bond movies because he has so many negative traits to be a hero that if you don't watch it ironically, you're just going to miss out on the subtle nuances of the film.
Oh.
So like, is your coffee free range? Anyway, Danny Boyle.
I want steroid-free coffee.
Steroid-free coffee. This is going so far this way. But
I need coffee right now. I really hate it.
I'm really excited to see what it is. I don't know if he's going to write it or not. I'm just curious to see how...
Actually, the only way to experience excitement is ironically.
Also, James Bond, Daniel Craig. You almost made me forget Daniel Craig's name. Daniel Craig. I don't know how many more of these movies he could take. I felt a little bit of like he was phoning it in, Inspector. I wasn't the biggest fan of that movie, so I'm curious to see where they're going to go from that story. But I'm also really curious to see if he's going to pull a Harrison Ford and just phone in the whole movie.
What if this is a crossover with Austin Powers
I seriously doubt it.
or Johnny English?
But probably not. Johnny English is coming out with a movie this year, actually.
What that movie? Film series I've never watched.
I like the first one. Guys, thank you so much. You guys have any opinions?
Opinions about what?
Chris?
Honestly,
have you ever seen a James Bond
do
movie?
you know what film this
Yes,
is
I've
being
seen a
filmed
James Bond
on?
movie. Shut up, Tyler.
You ever seen any Danny Boyle
Do you know what
movies?
film this is being filmed with?
You seen Train Spotting?
I believe it's on
What?
35 millimeter with
Trainspotting?
Danny Boyle.
No.
All right.
I have no opinions about this film.
Thank you.
35
Well,
millimeter.
what should we call you? We shouldn't call you Hunter. We should call you something else.
What are you talking about? This is Normal Hunter. I don't know what you're
Kinda
talking
is.
about.
It's pretty.
I bet you're all
pretty
about
accurate.
titles.
Well, I mean, I don't give labels unless, well, if we don't give labels, how are we supposed to know everybody's different?
But like, what are you talking about when
He
you
calls
something
himself
different?
a critic.
What tell me something different? This is normal hunter. I don't know
Normal
what.
Hunter.
This is normal
Okay,
hunter.
we'll call him
Actually, I don't really prefer the name Hunter because that implies too much violence, and I'm trying to purge that from my life.
Okay, how about
Okay?
Gatherer?
You can
cool with
call
that?
no. Let me finish, okay? I know that you think you get to speak over everyone, but this is my time to speak, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to mansplain you.
No, please stop. Just gather it. Gather it. You know what? I don't need this. All right?
Guys, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave a comment at facebook.com/Studio67.
I tried so hard for this, okay? Do you understand what you put me through?
Guys, thank you so much for watching. We're going to be right back. We're going to be talking about movies that were disasters behind the scenes, but wound up being good. Stay with us.
Wow, this is a good example of it.
Enjoy a relaxing Thursday getaway to the luxurious Big Bang Cinema. Rejuvenate your soul with opinions served to you by the awkward lanky Isaac Anderson and the loudmouth teddy bear James Tyler T-Bone Keene. Movie news, movie reviews, and everything in between never suit your soul. Quite like this show can. Enjoy. In prison stuck. But guys, how you doing? This is Big Bang Cinema. I'm Isaac Anderson.
I'm Tyler.
Mr. Keene.
Yeah, Mr.
T-Bone King.
Mystery Keen. There we go.
Guys, there's a lot of movies that were really big disasters right behind the scenes, but the movies actually turned out really, really well. So here comes our unoriginal name segment. Disastrous successes. That's it. That's the word.
Successful.
Some movies that were
disasters.
horrible behind the scenes, but wound up actually turning out really, really well.
What about successful disasters?
Successful disasters? That's called the Kardashians. We're not talking about those. Exactly.
Touche.
But guys, the one I picked is Blade Runner. Okay.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. What an aggressive hit. I like that.
Yeah.
I know we haven't seen a nice bout of aggressiveness in a while, so it's nice. Blade Runner. So Blade Runner is about Harrison Ford, who plays Rick Deckard, and he goes on a hunt against these things called replicants, which are basically clones of humans. That's a replicant right there, played by Rutger Hauer. And he has to go through, and he's basically retiring them, a la killing these things because they're not allowed to be on Earth running around going rogue. They're supposed to be slaves. And by the end of the movie, he kind of realizes he's just killing living things, and he makes a change. Boom. Amazing movie. But
Fantastic.
do you know any of the stuff that happened behind the scenes with this?
Oh yeah, Harrison Ford was a douche.
Harrison Ford reportedly, he didn't become jaded until the very end. He was very excited about this, but a big thing was Ridley Scott and the studio were bumping heads anyway, because Ridley Scott liked to do a ton of takes of just like people putting down bowls and people walking places. He did like 97 takes of certain stuff, like Kubrick kind of stuff. And it started ramping up the budget, and they started building all these sets, and the sets became like these overpriced kind of things. Like it just kept spiraling out of control. Like they came to set one day, and the pillars in the place. I'm trying to think of the what's the place he goes to when he meets Sean Young's character.
Oh, I know what you're talking about the corporation.
The Tyrell Corporation. That's
Corporation.
it. In the Tyrell Corporation, the pillars were flipped upside down, and they had to flip them upside down during the production and everything. That's like a minor thing, but the actress Sean Young.
Oh yeah, she was. Whoo! If you thought heard of crazy actresses, this woman takes the cake on it.
She was not crazy back then. She was pretty normal. But Harrison Ford did not like her. She did not think he did not like her. She did not like him. They have no chemistry in the movie.
She makes Margot Kidder sound like who's the extremely sane person. She
I don't
makes
know.
like Ben. She makes Margaret Kittle like Ben Stein. There we go.
But they did not like each other behind the scenes, and it shows on screen. And the studio really didn't like the cut that Ridley Scott presented. They thought it was stupid. Well, they thought it was really like they didn't understand what was going on. So they made Harrison Ford put a voiceover on it.
Oh, that was good.
Well, Harrison Ford purposely messed it up in order for them not to use it. And they used it. And it's in the movie that came out in the theater. So it's him going, felt like a cold fish, like a knight, trying to go through all the things. Like it sounds like an 8th grader wrote it, you know. And also there was a lot of things that people didn't like Ridley Scott because they always thought he was a jerk, and he is he's known for being kind of a kooky guy. But so he got the shirts that say xenophobia sucks, and you'll see those now. That's like a hipster thing that people have behind the scenes. But the movie, I think the original version's kind of boring. I think the voiceover is kind of stupid. There's no perfect cut of it. My favorite's probably the director's cut without the unicorn scene. That's part of stupid. We talked about that on the show. But movie came out, people love it, and it found a showing after this. You like the original Blade Runner, don't you?
I do. I love it.
You do? I like Blade Runner 2049 a little better, actually, I think.
No, I think they're both equally.
I feel like the through line with all of these, regardless, is going to be like big egos generally make these movies really hard behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Like,
but
like the good ones that come out.
Ridley Scott, as great of a director as he is, like there's an interview with him where he's like, someone asked him if Deckard's a replicant, and he starts quoting like Beavis and Butthead and stuff, and he's just like, well, I'm the director. I know what's best for my movie. I'm the greatest. Do you think Beavis and Butthead would do this kind of thing? No. Like he just, it's
Mike
going
Judge
everywhere.
wouldn't do this. Do you think Mike Judge would have done that?
It goes everywhere. Like it's
Yeah.
a funny interview.
Mike Judge is another good. He's a really good director.
Mike Judge is a really good director, but a classic movie, probably the best effects I've seen in the film that still hold up to this day. It's really interesting to see all the stuff that happened. It's like a 3.5-hour documentary that comes along with the movie. If you want to, that'd be awesome to watch. But yeah, along with Solo: A Star Wars Story, that actually turned out pretty well. This one turned out better. But guys, do you have any opinions on this? Nah. Oh, blank stares. Anything else?
Blade Runner was good. I loved it.
Thank you for that informative thing. Guys, it's like a football player said it. Thanks.
Yes, you're welcome.
No, let's go. That's all good. Guys, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, if you're leaving comments, please leave a comment again at facebook.com/Studio67NCC. There is no banner here, so I'm just doing this for no reason. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Next week, we're going to be watching a movie in a cinema. I think it's going to be the new Johnny Knoxville movie, Action Park or something like Action Point. So we're probably going to be watching that.
Oh, something else comes out next week. What comes out?
It's something else. We'll figure it out. You'll have to stay tuned. And tomorrow's Quick Flicks at 9 o'clock on Facebook.com. So Studio 67 NCC is going to be Solo: A Star Wars Story. It's got a really good review. Make sure you tune in if you want.
It was most of the movie pretty blank for me.
You'll figure out why in the review. But anyway,
Yeah.
guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. My name's Isaac Anderson.
I'm Tyler.
Stay lovely, guys.
Stay classy, Sandy.